5 in the morning, I'm all out of breath. Don't make me forget it. Don't make me forget all the reasons I gave. Stuck in your bed, high as the ceiling. Love how you taste. Yeah, it's easier to walk out the door and never look back. There's no reason now to keep screwing over the feelings we have. So I keep coming over, breathing your cigarette smoke. Keep coming over. You make me feel something real. Make me feel lucky. I keep on falling the further I get. Don't be mistaken, there's still some parts that just don't make sense. Stuck in my head, I keep on thinking, why won't we stay? Yeah, it's easier to walk out the door and never look back. There's no reason now to keep screwing over the feelings we have. So I keep coming over, breathing your cigarette smoke. Keep coming over. You make me feel something real. Make me feel lucky.
I fell in love cause you looked so fine. So darling, please don't mind. I fell in love maybe once or twice. But you look so fine. You are the sunshine in my life. Will you come over to my place after 9? You are the sunshine in my life. Will you come over to my place after 9? After 9, 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 after 9. Oh, I fell in love cause you looked so fine. So darling, please don't mind. I fell in love maybe once or twice. But you look so fine. You are the sunshine in my life. Will you come over to my place at 9? You are the sunshine. staring at you, so I'm crazy. Won't you bend that for me? We won't stop. Got your feet both locked. You get to fly with me. I can take you down for a ride. I take you around my life. Jaywalking, crosswalking, lip locking, but you, I know it, you know it. We make it. Staring at you, so I'm crazy. Won't you bend that there for me? We won't stop. Got your feet both locked. You get to fly with me. Heaven is really not far away. How can we fall in love for a day? I want to fall in love, baby, just for the night, just for the night. Heaven is really not far away. How can we fall in love for a day? I want to fall in love, baby, just for the night, just for the night.
We should go our separate ways, but now you're back, begging for a place to stay. Oh, it's not right. I wanna kiss you when we fight, kiss you when we fight, kiss you when we fight. So hit the road, baby. I don't wanna see the mess you made. I don't wanna hear about your mistakes. I just wanna live my life without you. You told me that we should go our separate ways, but now you're back, begging for a place to stay. Oh, it's not right. I wanna kiss you when we fight, kiss you when we fight, kiss you when we fight. So hit the road, baby. I don't wanna see the mess you made. I don't wanna hear about your mistakes. I just wanna live my life without you. When we were 15, I remember the car rides, small fights, conversations all night. I never saw you as anything more than a friend, but now I see you in a new light. We're getting older, there's a sparkle in your eyes that wasn't there before. You give me butterflies, it makes me wonder if there could be something more. We were only kids when we first met, first met. Now let's discover where we have been yet. I don't wanna wonder what could have been. Wash your hands so clean tonight. You can meet me on the other side. We're impatient like young gods. Feel the shift in the air with me, and the light is what you can't see. Keep on dreaming against all odds. We are the ones about to break the mold. The curtain call, now we'll start the show. We are the ones about to lose control. We are the daylight. We are the daylight.
Hey everybody, welcome to the grand final of European Call of Duty Challengers Cup number 4. It's going to be the last match of the Challengers Cups this season. And of course, all the action is brought to you by myself, Infinity, and Visions. Austin, you were here for the last match. You got to watch No explode against the Rams. And now we're going to get to see them go head-to-head with House Tarth to be crowned potentially our 4th winners of a Challengers Cup here, of course, given the fact we've had a new one every single Challengers Cup this season.
Yeah, is that ever exciting to know that we've had a different one so far every single time? Once again, just coming back to the competition that we currently have. And yeah, this is a chance for No to be able to bounce back because they did already play the squad in towards the winners final and they fell short in 3-2 fashion. So we know the series was close and they just came off of a hot win 3-1 there in the losers final. So a chance to be able to maybe carry this going in towards this matchup here. So it should be very exciting, as we're getting in towards this one. And overall, I think that we're really going to look in towards this matchup here for the squad because No, a lot of these players have not been able to break in towards the top, I feel like, throughout the last couple of Challenger Cups for us here in Infinity. And now things seem to be coming together for them. They look like they're certainly on the same page. The team play was here. We saw them clutch up in a lot of big moments, not only in the search and destroy, but a lot coming in towards some of these respawn game modes. That's exactly what they need to take down a squad like House Tarth. That is just a stacked roster with talent looking to try and grab themselves their second dub.
Yeah, I think the thing is with this No roster, right, it's a team that hasn't had the best season so far, and they've kind of been plagued by roster changes, right? I mean, that very first week, they got a top 6 placement, but that's a very different roster to the one that we are seeing today. And they've actually cycled out players over the course of the first few Challengers Cups of the season. I think last week they actually had Hydra coming in as a pickup for this roster. Now they've been forced into yet another roster change here, this No roster. I believe that Weeman is actually now made his way over towards the House Tarth roster, who of course removed Petey from that lineup themselves. So that makes this matchup all the more interesting, the fact that Weeman's actually playing against his old teammates. And beyond that, though, you also have Felon joining up the lineup here as the 4th in his place. The really interesting thing about this No lineup, right, coming into this is that Felon, I mean, I look at these players, every single one is a natural SMG player, which is hilarious for this team. Felon in particular, right, he comes in here as an SMG player, has to transition to role, which Weeman was playing, the main AR. He has smashed it over the course of this broadcast. He's looked incredible. And I'll tell you what, Felon as a player, right, I mean, I've got the chance to cast over Felon a fair few times. He's always kind of been under the radar, filled in for top rosters here and there. But when he does show up to play, he shows up to play. And I really love that from Felon. He's settled into this main AR role very, very well. I'm unsure at the moment whether this is sort of a fill-in role for him on this roster or if it's a permanent addition to the No lineup. But if it is the latter, hey, I don't think it's that bad of a thing for this roster.
No, and I mean, sometimes things just click when you're looking for that missing piece. You're trying to find the roster that works for your squad. Sometimes it's just that one player that comes in, it fits and picks up maybe just some of that role that you just not necessarily have had so far in towards the season. That seems to be the case, at least looking at that last matchup that we did get to see here for themselves. So it is looking great. I mean, he also had to battle up against Nvidian in that last series as well. And it looked like Nvidian got the best of him maybe the last couple maps. But when we ended on that checkmate hardpoint, that was where Felon, I think, really stepped up. And that was the question I actually posed going in towards that map 4, and he was able to answer that there. So going in towards this matchup, I expect the same thing, and I'm looking to see if the sub players can actually have a little bit of a better start going up against House Tarth, because we saw at least up against the Rams, Joe, I think, struggled to get a footing going in towards that series in the very first map, was able to bring things back a little bit going in towards the second rotations, and it was just a lot of great composure overall, and a lot of real ice, I think, that came through from the squad when they were winning a lot of those maps coming in towards that losers final, where they had the slow start, but they were able to start to figure out how they were playing, break them down, and go in towards that second rotation or go in towards that second half of S&D. That's when they were able to start picking them apart, start being able to actually play to their strengths, pick things up, and add in a little bit of that team play that was lacking in the first half here. So I think that's what we're going to see now, hopefully going in towards this one, which is a much better start. And they already took them to a game 5 here, Brody, which is the biggest factor, is that House Tarth was able to stay in that upper bracket, but just barely scraping by in that last map, which means there's certainly a chance to be able to now turn things on its head and see if you might be able to come out hot here in the first series and then force the second one here for No.
Yeah, absolutely. And the stakes, we must note them as well for this series. Now, for a roster like No, they've already done a great job of making their way into the top 8 seeds for, of course, a Challengers Elite going forward. Now, we don't know the exact setup of how that's all going to work, whether or not the top 8 seeds automatically jump into Challengers Elite here in Europe and, of course, over across the pond in North America. But what we do know is the top 8 are going to be in the Challengers Elite League or Cups, whatever the format is. We don't really know much about Challengers Elite at this point in time. But that fight for the top 8 seeding, I think, has been really clear over the last few weeks. Last week in particular, I saw Team Empted and Team 3G. I think they did themselves a real favor by making their way up to the top 4. It enabled them to get into the top 8 seeding. For a roster like No that ended this week with a number 9 seed, they needed a good performance here. They got it, of course, by beating Team 3G in the round of 16 and now all the way to the grand final. So this is a really important week overall for No. And of course, it's going to matter in the grand scheme of things when it comes to the Challengers Elite as we do get there very soon.
And well, ladies and gentlemen, looks like we are kicking off our grand final. We got Crossroads Hardpoint jumping right into things as the favored spawn will be here for No. And Afro already playing for that immediate flip as he tries to get himself through ice, and we'll be here with Defrag as they might have been able to work for a perfect flank to kick this one off. No real time being collected from either squad as we see one last play from Joe in from behind, but the immediate flip is here for House Tarth. They kick this one off hot, Brody, and now they're looking to soak up some time here on P1. Oh, I think Brody's muted, potentially here for us. Not sure if he is muted or if he did lose them. Either way, we are going to see No trying to bounce back in towards the hill. Just about 15 seconds to fight for themselves, and it is just going to be all about this rotation, which actually has been able to come back in favor of No as they play for that rotation, get in from behind, looking to fight for the last 10 seconds on towards the hill here for themselves, and now we'll be trying to get themselves at least a chance to be able to move in towards P2. Lenny also actually completely blocking this off. Big one-on-one will be able to bring this one home, and I think Brody is now back here with us as we see No on the hill soaking up time once again.
Yeah, apologies about that. I muted myself to sort out my levels, and then I lost my mouse in the parsec, which is just great, isn't it? We do love that. But I am back now to cast this matchup between No and House Tarth, and for now, though, it is going to be No in the lead. We look over towards this rotation, though, towards P2, and already we're seeing a great start here from House Tarth in controlling this hard point and taking a particular look over towards the KDs. Once again, great start for the new addition to the lineup here for Weeman. He's already 8-3, really proving his worth here on a map like this. He's going to be cutting down those lanes with that AR roll.
I'm able to bring things right back. Pretty scrappy game off the bat. Wee Man with a great performance to open things up. A little bit of objective time with the 8-4 score, as you already alluded to. And just going to be up by about 15, 16 points or so as Gizmo's going to jump right off, do the Superman punch in the air, and well, brings home 2. Gizmo with 3, okay. And that will be an excellent break here, and Gizmo's still not even done. This XM4 is shooting him very well. Had a slow start towards the map here, but starting to pick up a bit of steam as control will be here for House Tarth. And now they're looking to play defense, and Gizmo's still not done as he moves in for a second 3K. Gizmo's turning up as Nolson's finally there to shut him down.
Oh man, if you doubt Gizmo, if anybody in this chat doubts Gizmo for his performance, well, he is proving his worth here. That is for sure, of course. The flex player on this lineup, and he's now going to be able to lean into that role. That's for sure, now that Weeman is here to play main AR for this roster. And Gizmo starting strong off the back of that. It enables control for House Tarth off the back of this P3 hardpoint. But keep an eye on those spawns for the next rotation here. You're going to see No spawning out towards that back rock. They have control of P4. And now it's a question of whether or not House Tarth can come on breakthrough.
Trying to get through. Nolson sitting here on the hill, gets a little shoulder peek on towards one of the players, but his teammates are dropping like flies in and around him. Tries to finesse the player on the left, which is Wee Man, and he's now going to be pushed up on towards the barrels. Big gunfight from Felon, almost turned to his right for Defrag, but control still here nonetheless for No. As much as we've seen House Tarth be able to push through the street, it's about actually trying to flip out the spawns, and now a chance to do exactly that as they find 3 down. The spawns are out for the majority of the players. Last one in the back is going to be Felon, who does manage to actually find Gizmo, and this looks to have surprised House Tarth, but they still managed to deal with it, and with 20 seconds left, House Tarth have a chance to be able to grab themselves some crucial scrap time and be able to have a nice cushion going in toward the reset.
And overall, so far, this is a great performance coming out from House Tarth right out the gate. Of course, you got to remember, folks, that they'll be slightly cold coming off the back of waiting, essentially, from that winners final matchup. And already here, they're doing pretty well, that's for sure. Weeman starting strong at 17-10 now on a 3 streak. Again, it's not really all that unsurprising, given just how well Weeman's played over the course of this tournament. Of course, Defrag and Gizmo also up there with Defrag, one of the main SMGs for this lineup at 12-11, and now Afro 10-8 as well. This lineup is firing on all cylinders. They currently have a 40-point advantage over No, but they have to be careful they don't give up a lot of time here to their enemy roster.
And he tries to push all the way through as they do have control on the hill, but the pinch is just so good. Weeman closing in on 20 kills already here for himself on Crossroads, kicking off this grand final extremely hot. Lenny will be able to grab himself one as they need to now make this rotation in towards the back, but Gizmo has the whole middle of the map on lock, and he's also going to be responsible for grabbing this time. Already a minute of time here towards the AR player. This has just been an excellent performance from House Tarth, putting themselves in the driver's seat, having themselves a nice lead, but a chance now to flip things back over. No. They will have control of the map as they're going to grab this remaining scrap time and have the spawns in the back for P2.
Chance indeed here for No. This is really the opportunity they want to find their way back into this game. They're currently down by about 50 to 60 points, and this could really be the opportunity to hold down this P2 hard point and just make sure they find their way back into this one. Nelson now on a 5-killing spree. Afro, though, trying to have something to say about that, moving in towards this hard point. Got the support kills coming through from Weeman. There's going to be pressure now coming in from House Tarth. No. Inside. Defrag flying through. He's only able to pick up one, though. Felon is able to trade things out. Trades coming in here, and House Tarth looking to come out on top. Nelson trying to hold on to this hard point, and House Tarth have at the very least removed No, but these spawns still in their favor for now. But look at the time here. 15 seconds left on the back of this hard point, and this rotation is in favor of House Tarth. Yeah, Austin is now muted as well. He's made the same mistake I have. So we're in here towards this next hard point. It's going to be House Tarth looking to get control. It's going to be a full wave of kills for House Tarth. They're able to bat away No. And this is a worst case scenario realistically for No. They still have time to flip the situation on its head, but they are spawning out away from P3, away from P4, and as Afro holds on here, looking to flex himself with the Krig 6, able to get kill number 3, just batting away No. And I believe we do have Austin back now for this cast.
You do have me back. It's some early mornings here in the North American side as we get ready for these EU streams, but we are back and ready, and this has been another incredible hold. And as I was saying, or as I tried to say, I guess I should say, as we will see House Tarth control this hill once again. Last time, this is where they built up this lead, and this is where they're going to be able to do it again for themselves. And Gizmo just somehow unleashes himself when he gets in towards P3 on Crossroads. He can do it with the XM4. He can do it with the AK-74U, as House Tarth are now up over a hard point, and there is no sign of spawn swinging the way of No. Afro doing a great job of locking down weapons and fire, making sure no one's going to be able to hit the back, and now this is going to be No trying to flood through the street to see if they can find a break, and this break needs to come through on this attempt.
Does indeed, Austin. No. They need to find their way through. Afro, though, he's the gatekeeper here, and he wants to shut the door on No. right on this hard point, keeping them away, and there it is in the kill feed. Weeman is going to combine with Afro for a couple of kills. Afro on that top side of your new map just doing so much damage to No. They cannot find their way into this hard point, and this is why this hard point is so hard to control, right? If you're a House Tarth and you've got control of the spawns, it's so hard to break your way in. If you're a No, you need to get very lucky with the spawns, which, given its Crossroads strike, that's absolutely possible, but nonetheless, House Tarth, they've done a great job of holding on, and now they find themselves, Austin, just 20 points shy of victory. No, on 111 points. They need a pretty much flawless game, and Afro just slaps down Nolson. Really just emblematic of just how House Tarth played this game thus far.
Yeah, I mean, going into that P3 hill, it was just about 15 points separating the two, and now you can just see the difference on the last two hills, really building this lead up and look to be trying to close this one out. They certainly have it in their lines of sight. Gizmo will wait for the regen, though, before going for the aggressive challenge. Allows his teammates to try and find some kills, but Lenny with some crisp shots will be able to take down one. Weeman with the response, 33 and 20 now for Weeman, as he is absolutely just turned up going in towards the second half of this hard point. Gizmo trying to fight for the power position, will be able to cut down one, tags up the second, moves in with the pistol, but won't be good for the kill. No, trying to extend this game, will do a good job of at least getting a bit of this time, but House Tarth just bounced right back, and now they might be looking to close this one out.
They might do indeed. House Tarth, they're on the hard point. They're looking for these final kills. No. They're trying to fly on through. Joe, what has he to say? Not very much at all, as Defrag picks up kill number 3. It is going to go towards the next rotation, but House Tarth, they're already there. They take map number 1, 250 to 133. Great control from them off the back of what was, I think, a back-to-back P3 and P4 hold, essentially 400 or so points off the back of those hills. And no. I mean, they're never really going to recover from that, especially when House Tarth are so close to victory.
And you just have to go back to that Gizmo play where he found, I believe it was like 7 and 8 in a row. And it was that break that really kind of snowballed everything in that game number 1, because it was a lot of back and forth. And House Tarth, I think, did a good job of at least controlling the lead, making sure that they were in control, even going in towards that P3 where they didn't have the initial setup. But once you lose that initial break inside of fire and then end up dropping 2 or 3 players in towards the back and the spawn slip out, things just got out of control. And there was no real recovery, like you had just alluded to. It's just so difficult to work yourself back in towards the game on a map that is very momentum based due to how small it is, and you can just carry those rotations so easily and carry those sprees throughout the map. And that's exactly what they did. Afro also playing this insane roaming role, being able to just kind of get in behind enemy lines, surprising a lot of no when they were least expecting it. So great job overall coming through for them, and that's really what they wanted, I think, coming in towards this series, where no, they come off pretty hot here in the losers final. They end up closing out 3-1. They had a clutch performance in the very map number 1 as well on Garrison, where they brought things back and were able to take things away. So the respawns look good in the last series, but House Tarth is clearly a different beast, and they show them that here in the very first map.
Yeah, I can kind of see why they made the roster change now. That's for sure. House Tarth, they look very, very good. I think it is important to note here as well, and something we didn't really get to talk about in the preamble. This House Tarth roster is the result of quite a lot of roster mania over the last few days. There were a lot of sort of unfinished changes that were going to be made. I believe at one point there was a time when Defrag probably wasn't even going to be on this team. And it probably wouldn't be House Tarth, of course, because Defrag is the reason this team is named House Tarth. That being said, this roster, it performs so well. On paper, I think it makes a lot of sense. I think it probably makes more sense than the last team did. I think beforehand, you didn't really have a dedicated AR player. Sure, Gizmo and PE could fill that role, but at heart, they were both flex players. Now you have Weeman in, who is this dedicated AR player. And as he showed in the stat lines there, on a map like Crossroads, I think, as it's traditionally played, while your sub players are the ones that need to make the space, if your AR player can be the one to really just close down those lanes, it's going to be a problem for the other team. And that's why it's really great to see Weeman in on this team as your main AR player. I think that was sort of maybe the problem that we're facing in the last couple of Challengers Cups, where they maybe didn't have the placements. Of course, they did get in Challengers Cup number 1, where they ended up winning it. I think now they're probably going to be feeling a little bit more comfortable with this new team. They look like a threat, that's for sure. And for a roster like no, they're going to have to pull something out the bag here on Garrison, Search, and Destroy to tie the series up. Talking about the next map, let's take a look at our map set for this series. Of course, we've just seen Crossroads Hardpoint 250 to 133 to House Tarth. But Austin, talk us through what the rest of our series is going to look like.
Yeah, I mean, we got raid control coming up here, which, I mean, we can never get enough raid. I think we would be happy if we saw raid even 5 times over, Brody. But Garrison hardpoint coming in there for our second hardpoint, and then Moscow to finish things off if we end up going towards yet another game 5 here. But at the very least, coming in at least for the Garrison Search and Destroy, this should be a special one, because I think that there was some very unique plays that took place in the Miami Search and Destroy. Now, ideally, both are played completely different, where you're kind of going up against one lane compared to having just a complete open map to make a lot of plays. But there was some unique strategies that I think were prepared beforehand, and I imagine that might likely be the case going in towards this one as well. But it came off the back end of, I think, their sniper more or less. I mean, there was an incredible game that ended up coming through there for Nolson, just being able able to put up, I think it was like 11 kills, 10 kills when he ended that Miami. And he really had the best of lucky in those one-on-one engagements. Now, that's what really was their backbone, I felt like, going in towards that search and destroy, and might very likely be the case going in towards this one, because we've seen how influential the sniper play can also be on a map like Garrison, where you are looking down the barrel of one lane and you can have those initial picks that take place right off the course of each spawn going in towards the map. So I think that going in towards this, that's what really needs to come to life here. If they can bounce back here again going in towards the search and do what they did in the last series, there's a chance to be able to tie things up. I think it's more important, though, that they grab this map more than anything else, because going 2-0 down to a team like House Tarth that's already playing this well coming out the map number one is just going to put you in such a difficult spot going in towards the rest of these maps, especially when we're looking at raid control and Garrison hardpoint. With the way that Weeman and the subs were just playing, things are not going to get easier. But I think we have our search and destroy lined up here for us, Brody. As we get into things, we'll see exactly how it all comes together.
And of course, disclaimer, for those of you new to the stream, of course, you'll have heard this phrase over and over again if you've watched the Search and Destroy here across the first 4 Challengers Cups, but we are not showing gameplay on the Search and Destroy. The reason being, we are preserving the strategies of the players in the game and in the Challengers Cup overall, really, here in Europe, at their request, no less. So no Search and Destroy gameplay here, at least casted on this stream, but we'll still radio broadcast it. We'll still let you know what is going on. You can see now, no here. On the offense straight away, they find themselves at a man advantage. Defrag and Gizmo left up in a 2 versus 3.
Bomb looks like it should go down here. Joe, with a chance to get a free plant off, not destroying the barrel here is going to be a bit risky, but the risk will pay off. Gizmo now up top green, trying to find an angle. He does get information. Semtex thrown out, almost perfect. Almost gets that stick, but we'll just get the tag with Flak Jacket. Joe now repositioning to top tank. He spots out both players. What a disciplined play here from Joe. Defrag does find Felon and evens the odds up, but Nolson holding that angle, looking for the pick. And now with 20 seconds left, this defuse needs to come through.
Joe is always on a flank of some kind, man. Just always. He's always trying to flank somebody. It's just his MO here. So he finds himself hidden in place. Nelson takes down Defrag. There's only a little bit of time left on the clock here, really, for something to happen. Gizmo doesn't have enough time to jump on that bomb, and it is going to be Joe finishing things off there. And the flank, well, clearly works, as he's able to hide for enough time that really those last 2 players don't have a clue where he is. Felon with the play of the game here.
Felon bringing this one home. I think just finds Afro and just a little cheeky angle as he drops down, and Afro just never going to win that gunfight. You see him try to backtrack, but not going to get out in time. And yeah, you have to come back to Joe's play. I think overall, just he could have very likely taken that gunfight versus Gizmo. Probably could have won it on the tank heady, but just makes the intelligent play and backs down completely, make them chase him out and just draws them away from the objective. That's good enough for the first round offensively. No. Looking to carry that in towards the second round here, as they're also looking to have some presence at least through the middle of the map this time. Nolson so good with the scope, finds himself a kill, but Gizmo will go for the second peek and trade things right back.
That's an important head to take as well. Newman now down for the count. It's a 3 versus 3, but the sniper rifle for House Tarth is still involved in the situation. Defrag looking for something to tip the odds in House Tarth's favor. Of course, they're the ones that need to play aggressive here in this round. They have the bomb in hand, looking to make their way over towards B. This Fen area has been one that has certainly for the last Challengers Cup or so, it's been a heat of the battle place. House Tarth, though, looking to plant this bomb down. It's going to be an attempt. Linny is going to blow up the barrel. Defrag going to fall off the back of it now. No. They know this bomb down over towards B, but there has been an equalization here as Afro does take out a player from No. It's Linny and Felon now in a 2 versus 2 against Gizmo and Afro. This bomb is down. Linny could, theoretically speaking, just jump on this defuse if you wanted to. Afro all the way in no man's land at the moment. That leaves Gizmo all on his own in a 1 versus 2 here in the mid-map, but it's going to be Afro coming in from behind. He's able to make his way back into the situation. Felon, a 1 versus 2. Afro from top tank, a lovely position where that bomb was planted, of course. That's the right play to make there if you are No.
I thought things were going to go wrong when that barrel ends up finding the kill, and lucky enough, I think it might have been Gizmo who found the immediate trade, even up the odds there, and then as well as getting the bomb down for his team, just being able to make sure that the pressure is still going to be on and they don't have to go looking for the kills. But great job overall, at least being able to still clutch things out. Afro playing his life by the tank and being able to cut off just about the majority of the map, making things a lot easier for Gizmo, and they go for that double challenge, bringing it home. And So far, we've seen Defrag find a little bit of value with this scope, but as well as Nolson, both players 2 and 2 here at the moment. And we'll look at this aggressive challenge here from Linny. He just bolts it towards the vent, tries to take the initial challenge here down low. No one will be there, and House Tarth have not really been dedicating any players in towards the vent defensively. Joe will drop a smoke and has a chance to be able to push through to L, but he's going to spot one out right by Square. Doesn't decide to take any shots and will instead just hold the power position inside of L.
This is the key thing here. Joe is just gatekeeping this elbow position. You need to make sure that Afro doesn't make his way through. Semtex goes out. That's going to push Afro away and actually just make sure, no, Afro, get away from my elbow as Joe does take him down. But unfortunately for Linny and no, Weeman going to strike first here in this round. Nolson does come out, takes down his former teammate with the sniper rifle. So now 3 versus 3 here. No. They still have quite a lot of map control to work with, but Defrag from all the way at the back of the map, able to take down Nolson. And now a 2 versus 3 here, Austin, to defend this bomb site. It's up to Felon and Joe.
And Defrag, he's still alive with the sniper rifle. This could make things a little bit more difficult for this retake. Takes some shots, challenges the middle of the map. Felon with a chance for 2. Can he get away with his life? He will not. He gets pinched up here from House Tarth as they will not allow them to play for a post setup. Don't even really give them any time to make any map movements. They collapse beautifully, play for those trades, and will be able to grab themselves a defensive round and pull ahead by 1.
This sniper from Defrag. I mean, on a map like Garrison, you're a sniper player. It's really one of your most valuable, but Defrag just hitting those shots, man. So nasty with it. Now House Tarth, they have a 2-1 advantage here. Look at Afro. Having died early on in round number 1. He hasn't died since. 4 kills straight. And Afro recently, I mean, Afro is just one of those players, right? I think over the course of the last 2 years, has really made a name for himself, and for good reason.
Truly.
He's definitely one of the most valuable players here on this House Tarth roster. Real gem of a pickup for this team. Right now, inside vent, does get a tag on Linny with the Semtex. Knows there's a player there. Of course, you don't want to be the one's entry frag on this gunfight. You can't really do much here in the vent. Linny has his eyes well locked up onto this vent. There's not really much chance of Afro getting through.
Afro decides to reposition. Chance to get a smoke down here, but Nolson, he works an angle. Ends up finding Gizmo for first blood. Afro wants to get into the vent, but Joe, watching his teammates back, makes sure that Linny will not fall down. Now Defrag and Weeman all left alive in the 2v4 situation. There's 35 seconds left. Bomb is down. Defrag grabs himself 1. The trade comes through, and it's a 1v3 with limited time here. Not looking great, and everyone not going to give him any peeks. But Defrag does have a 74U, but needs to make things happen quickly.
1v3 for Defrag. AK-74U in hand. Much better weapon to make this one happen. Unfortunately, it isn't able to get that gunfight, and it is going to be 2 for 2 now. Here in Search and Destroy. Nolson doesn't actually get the first shots on there, but will finish the gunfight.
Yeah, great jump shot coming through and just tracking, hitting a lot of those shots in towards the head. 2-2 we go, and this has been a very exciting sniper battle here between Defrag and Nolson, both just about even. Last time I felt like Nolson didn't have too much of a challenge against Lucky. He was able to work him so much in Miami, like I talked about before going in towards this map. This time around, however, there has been some first bloods here from Defrag, but look what we're seeing in towards the middle of the map here. We're gearing up for a very aggressive push on offense. No, will lose the first player, but down from above, it's going to be Joe, as he's going to be able to come in from behind, finds 2 kills, and that will create a man advantage now for No.
Joe's got your back, even if you're not on his team, and it's going to take you down there. It's going to be a 3 versus 2 now. House Tarth find themselves with a man disadvantage. And of course, No. I mean, the cards are definitely in their hands here. Joe, for kill number 3, is certainly not going to find it just yet, but has pushed House Tarth away from this B bomb site. And now the question, how quickly do they plant it? The answer, absolutely very quickly here, is Joe's going to get this bomb down over towards B. Now, how do Defrag and Gizmo respond to this? They're currently pretty separated. They're looking for some hero plays. Joe says, absolutely not, my friend. Gizmo gets his head taken off, and final kill does go the way of Nolson, but nonetheless, very close affair there. Joe robbed of the ace, but it is going to be around with it from the No side.
great recovery. I mean, Joe just finds that window. He knows there's smokes down. There's a lot of chaos right at the start of the round. One of his teammates gets blooded, and he just drops down from above and just ends up finding those 2 kills. And then later on finds another one there. So great stuff coming through from the submachine gun player. Joe also stepped it up big in search and destroy last series, carrying that through in towards map number 2, a map that no desperately need, already being down 0-1 in this series. But looks like this time around we will get something a tad bit different. House Tarth, they want to maybe try and see if they can attack a different bomb site here for a change. But this bomb site over by A, when you get control of it, you usually need a pick, and they will be able to just about push themselves through, but they will lose their bomb carrier. To frag now will fall. Gizmo with the trade as the trades all come through, and now 2v3 we go.
Afro, 1 versus 3. If anybody, he's the man to do it on House Tarth. Currently 6-3, looking for another kill number 2. It's going to go for those first few shots. Switches over towards the Diamati. Looking for this one. Hunting down Nolson. Going to have to back away from the fight for now. And with 40 seconds on the clock, there's still actually a little bit of time to work with if you're Afro. Nolson and Felon. They know how this game is played. Got eyes on both of the bomb sites. And 25 seconds for Afro to make this one work. Flies out. Nolson's watching green like a hawk with that sniper rifle. Afro had absolutely no chance.
Bold play. Nolson misses that shot. He absolutely dies there, but just able to land it. Felon also with a crucial 2-piece here, just grabbing that trade, and then Weeman really needs to try and grab control of bricks, so forced to kind of go for that challenge, but not going to miss out on the second kill either. Great control coming through defensively. No. Able to put themselves up by 2 here once again as they're back in control of the search and destroy for themselves. And we take a look at some of these players that have really been playing the difference. Fallon, Joe, and Nolson here all on 7 or 6 kills, really just bringing the heat to House Tarth. But things are not over yet. Defense is here. Afro with a little bait, trying to now throw this smoke out. Just wise play here from Afro. Will escape with his life, but does lose Weeman in the process. Gizmo has been so good with these trades, however, it will make sure things do stay even.
And Joe, man, I just love this characteristic. Obviously, you know, we really shouldn't be revealing strategies, but honestly, I don't think we're revealing that much. We know Joe is on the map, so we know he's going to be flanking, and that's exactly what he tries to do there. Is no, going to have some effect off the back of that play. It's now a 2 versus 1 scenario as Nolson wipes Gizmo away. It's all falls on the shoulders of Defrag. A 1 versus 2 hit. Lenny and Nolson. Defrag going to go with the Diamati. Unfortunately, that's not really the right weapon for that situation and does get outplayed on the peak as well. So, no. 5-2 up now in this search and destroy. Looking to tie this series up at 1-1.
I think they're just really good at being able to figure out some of the setups that typically take place. And to be fair on Garrison, there's only so many setups you can do defensively to have some map controls. So there's not a whole lot you can change up. But I feel like No have just been throwing different strategies in towards the mix, which is exactly what I was expecting. Seeing what they were able to do with some of their creativity in the last series, it's now coming to life for them here once again, and up by such a nice margin. I mean, 5-2 for themselves here. This is really exactly what you wanted to see for a squad that needs to bounce back, but things are not over yet. And this could be Gizmo just able to find himself right through the smoke. Grabs one, will fall, but Weeman with the quick trade. Still going to be a numbers advantage on the offense, and House Tarth have a chance for a bomb plant.
House Tarth for the numbers here. Short of a Felon clutch up, this should be a round for them. Bomb now down over towards B. Felon looking for a retake here. House Tarth set up, so there's not really much of an angle that Felon can find that isn't covered. Well, there's one. That's for sure. Nobody watching that. Elbow not watched whatsoever, but Defrag able to pick that kill in from the nest, and it is going to be 5-3 now. Or no, but it is a round for House Tarth. They stay alive here in search and destroy.
Yeah, risky play. I mean, just trying to get all the way through L ends up working out, and it always helps when you take down the sniper player for first blood. That is just a lot less pressure on the map. You can feel a little bit more willing to go for some of these shoulder peaks here when you're trying to see if any players are going to be by connector or inside of bricks, top green, or whatever you have it. Knowing the sniper player is down is going to make that risk come through more often than not. So 5-3 is what we're going to have for ourselves. House Tarth looking to bring things back. They would have to do a full 4 rounds in a row, grabbing the first one now, making it 3. And we've seen this play happen a couple times, excuse me, as Lenny's been trying to aggressively put himself inside of the vent. But Afro, with the aggression, able to find himself a first kill. So now numbers advantage on the defense. Wee Man goes a little too aggressive, will be traded out, and Nolson also with a response on the Gizmo.
Now Defrag and Afro, the SMG duo for House Tarth. They've got to do something here, otherwise it's going to be a 1-1 series. Defrag's going to fall. It's all on Afro. A 1 versus 3. He's inside green. Nolson's watching this window. Afro's dead as soon as he peeks. Nope, never mind. He's going to peek the bridge instead. He, technically speaking, I was correct. He did peek, but it wasn't Nolson he peeked. Peeked bridge instead and did end up falling. So no. 6-3 in the end in the search and destroy. They're able to tie the series up 1-1, Austin.
1-1, and I mean, they're just looking really good in search. I just think that they're really getting a great idea of how their opponents are playing, and they just make those adjustments as they get deeper and deeper in towards the search and destroy, closing in another pretty convincing search here, 6-3 for themselves. And that's the game that needed to come through. I said it before going in towards it. You want to tie the series. You not want to go 2-0 down, heading in towards a control where you're just going to be able to carry all that momentum, and the pressure will ever be on, because you not only have to win this best of 5, of course, here for no, you have to then win a second. So you have to be ready to jump in towards that second series, but have to get through one map at a time in the first one here. And that's obviously a great start for the second search or the first search and destroy as we get ready to gear up in towards raid control. We love ourselves some raid here, Infinity, and well, we're going to at least once in towards this grand final as we get geared up for this control to see who is going to be able to take the swing map.
Yeah, I felt like I didn't get to cast any raid really last weekend. It was a bit of
one map, I think.
Yeah, it was a bit of we got through the series. There was raid, search, and destroy, but obviously we don't really get to cast raid or search and destroys generally speaking.
Sure.
On this stream. So this will be nice to cast some raid, of course. Classic Call of Duty Black Ops 2 map back here for Black Ops Cold War. As an aside, Express is coming back, Austin. How excited are we about that, man? Search and destroy. It's so good. If it's not in rotation, somebody needs to be blamed, because it's definitely going to be a fun map. I'm not sure how it'll work with snipers here on this game, but yeah, it'll be sure. It'll be fun for sure to have that back in rotation when it does come around. Season 1 Reloaded, I think it is, whenever that is.
Yes.
So it is going to be in there soon, and hopefully it does come in and either replace or add to a map in the map pool here. I don't know, should it replace the map as a sort of an aside conversation here, or should it come in as an additional option?
I mean, maybe some people would have some arguments for me. I could see replacing Miami. I'm not a big Miami fan myself. I don't mind casting it, but playing it at times can certainly be frustrating, I think, for a lot of the community. So, I mean, I'd love to see it come in for Miami personally, but I mean, I think another map could probably be added to the pool, and it wouldn't hurt things. It create at least a little bit more of a dynamic within the veto system as well. But yeah, I love Express. And I mean, Express will work, I think, exceptionally well in this game as well, because of the meta within the sniper play, and having, you know, a reliable scope and a good sniper play on your team is just so rewarding, which is something that is obviously crucial on a map like Express, where you can go down and watch that bottom cross by that B bomb site, or look to use it top control and the catwalks and things like this. So there's a lot of different dynamics where that could come through. And plus, I mean, you can look to find a lot of openings with smoke rushes and things like this with the submachine gun. So I would love to see it come in towards the rotation. I absolutely agree with you that it should, and hopefully it will, as we get some of these classic maps from Black Ops 2, where we got to kind of get our first real taste of competitive, and now get to see it all these years later. Definitely adds quite a build up going in towards them when we finally actually get to see them come out in the series.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting for sure, though. Next up, it's going to be Raid Control. So we are going to be going back to that Black Ops 2 era map for this one. Really interesting, actually. So Raid Control, I still think it's relatively new, so I still don't think teams 100% got the strategies down, per se. But for both of these teams, of course, coming in with new rosters, I think it's going to be really interesting to see sort of how they get on here with their new teams. Of course, I mean, in both cases, it's a new AR. Of course, that was the trade that was made. Of course, Weeman coming in here for the new AR for House Tarth, and a Felon coming in here filling that main AR role for this no side. So how is that going to affect a map like Raid Control, would you say, now that these two kind of have their dedicated ARs on this roster?
Well, I mean, a lot of Raid, like from what we remember from it, it's just a lot of power positions, especially when we're talking about ring and by water side. So if your ARs are just simply outgunning the others, your submachine guns are likely not getting to the point because there's a lot of long range engagements that kind of take place by the pool house going in towards cutout or vice versa from laundry into art. So it makes things very complicated for your submachine guns to get any pressure. And we'll see if the ARs are actually going to be effective here and allow some of that sub pressure to come out. I do think that offense does have a slight advantage in control. We'll see if that takes place here for us as they do gear up for a very aggressive B hit. It's only one player playing defense. They managed to find two as they are stacking this zone. The first tick is already good, and Weeman goes for that re-challenge, and Felon is going to have at least some middle map presence, but not enough to stop the second tick here, maybe even the third.
And this is the strat, really, I've seen from Raid Control, is that you've got to go for B straight away. It's the harder point to take, so that's why you want to get it out of the way. And that was a complete surge right off the bat here from House Tarth as they're able to just find their way on a B, take it almost immediately. And I think most crucially, they did it without really any respawns lost at all. So great stuff from them. Now they have a 5 respawn advantage over No. Just one control point here to capture with 2 minutes on the clock. I mean, all the cards are in their favor.
Defrag just playing a little peekaboo here with one of the enemies, and it's going to be a little bit of reinforcements that comes in, and we'll be able to deal with Defrag. So now this push starts all over again, but you have plenty of time to work for A. Just takes one good hit, and I think Felon might be stuck here, as it would appear. He still manages to find himself a kill, but Felon is absolutely, or was stuck, at least what it looks like for the time being. Weeman will be able to take him off of the top power position here as they battle back, but as you get through one AR, there's still a second. Controlling laundry, they will find 3 down here once again, allowing them to push up. And you can see now a different strategy coming in for House Tarth as they're looking to get themselves in from behind to see if they can find a break.
They're taking a page out of Joe's book here, right and on the flank, all the way in from behind. Felon going to be made aware of it. Now, just look at how quickly No are going to be aware of this. You can see on your mini-map 6, 7, and 5, all of them now turning, or 6, 8, and 5, sorry, all of them turning around to their own spawn. They know where this attack is now coming from. They've actually sent Joe on a double blind hit all the way around for the flank. So this attack needs to come in fast for House Tarth. They can't really falter around this laundry area, but look at this, with just how well No have held on to this point. Now you can see they're going in through. Joe comes in from behind. That long flank, it works out so perfectly, able to pick up 2 kills. But House Tarth, they do still have players now just going head on in towards the point.
Oh, up top, Weeman able to find himself 1, 2, maybe 3. Gets the help there from Afro on the last 2. But nonetheless, they clear out the zone for themselves, stopping the clock at about 34 seconds. Second tick coming through slowly but surely. Last tick now on the horizon. There needs to be a break, and they've already lost 2 of their 4 members. Felon with the response, but it's not looking great. And well, there you have it. The offense does come through. Was looking shaky on the second point, but they finally get that full man wipe, and they're there to secure their first offense.
I gotta say, I got a little bit worried when they were taking a whole year to make their way all the way around on the flank for that play, but it does work out in the end as they, as the flank play doesn't really work out, they kind of just like, yeah, you know what, stuff this. We're just gonna go straight towards the hill, and it works out perfectly as House Tarth. They have the time to make it happen. They make it happen, and now 1-0 up here in control. On an offensive round, no less. Now we switch over towards House Tarth on the defense. We'll see what they're able to do. Weeman starts off strong, able to pick up that first blood. Afro follows up with another one of his own. There is trades made here from Felon. No. Batted away, though, initially. Keep an eye on the top side of the minimap line. Number 6 and number 5 trying to make their way over towards B.
Gizmo just wants to try and play his life here all by himself. But yeah, like you said, by B, they are going to be able to get at least a little bit of progress made as Joe pushes forward. And he actually takes down 2 of the defenders here from House Tarth. Afro now through the middle of the map, looking for a bit of an opening. As he comes in from behind, the opening will be good for 1. Will he pay attention up top? He will not, and Felon will be able to actually grab that kill. So second tick looks to be good. It is being stacked by 2, but Gizmo could still play spoiler. He finds himself 2 kills, and Defrag grabs the 3rd. So B will be defended. They will deplete that last tick and make sure an extra minute is not put up on the clock.
Big clutch up from Gizmo here. Now he's continuing on this spree. 4 for him. Great stuff. You can see House Tarth now dominating the kill feed. They look pretty good. Weeman actually loses a fight against Nolson. That's going to break the deadlock as No trying to find their way over towards this B control control zone. Gizmo looking for number 5. He gets it. Looking for number 6. He gets number 6. Gizmo exploding inside open steps. Surely not number 7. Felon is going to deny, but House Tarth doing all they can at the moment with 25 seconds left on the clock here to keep No away from this point. Defrag inside the Tiki. He is going to fall. And No now starting to build up some pressure on this B zone.
They have themselves a nice life lead for House Tarth. So even if this zone goes over, they're still in a great spot, but they might not even allow it to go over. Afro gonna grab himself a kill. Weeman works for the second. Nolson inside of Tiki will be able to grab himself a kill as Gizmo jumps on the point, but Nolson and Linny trying to keep things alive for their very first offense. That will be the B point secured, extra minute put up, but low on lives right now is No. So they have to play for kills as well as work for this objective. They can't allow too much of this time to escape them, and Afro will be able to work for a kill in towards the back as he's just trying to play his life.
I think the unfortunate thing here for No is even though they actually managed to put number minute on the clock, the lives just not in their favor by any means. 9 respawns remaining for House Tarth, 2 for No, and now it comes down to just 2 players actually as Defrag picks up 2. Weeman brings it all the way down to just these last 3 for No, Felon and Joe. What are they able to do? Joe's going to pick up 1. It all falls on Joe. A 1 versus 7. Not going to happen. And that's going to be another round for House Tarth. Great pressure overall there in round number 2.
There was a lot of clutch plays, and this is the Gizmo play right here. Just winning out on that first battle, just absolutely obliterates Linny off of the heady, and then is able to then bring this pressure towards Zig as well as Art, just really cutting off a lot of the spawners that are working themselves back out on towards the map. And this is just also chipping away at the lives, of course, which is what it came down to in the end, building up a massive lead off a couple of real big plays here. And Afro 17-7 with a lot of objective score built up for himself. Gizmo also been a massive factor towards some of that pressure. Everything swinging the way of House Tarth as they are gearing up and lining up for what could be a 3-0 in this swing map.
And right off the bat here, Defrag and Gizmo are going to set some pace as they pick up those first couple of kills. Weeman wins that gunfight against Nolson. Not really much you can see of that player there, but Afro now trying to put some pressure in through the kitchen as House Tarth. They're making their way over towards B. And Austin, I'm getting a little bit deja vu here, bud. We can see House Tarth. They've surged their way on a B. They're already capturing it in Linny. Oh, no.
You can't let that happen, Brody. I mean, that perfectly describes how this game is going. A lot of the players struggling for no, and Joe has been trying to keep them in this one with a couple of clutch multi-kills, but it's just not looking like it's enough. B is almost secured. A now also being worked on as Defrag is going to get smoked in that gunfight up against Nolson, but still has plenty of teammates in and around this point on A, as they have gotten almost all the progress done on B, but now want to try and bring the attention to A. It's going to be all up to Defrag, however. Last one left alive as he's just trying to play his life, and he will be swarmed from the no players, but somehow manages to grab himself 1, as now there's options on the table for House Tarth. They can hit A or B. Both just need that final tick.
I think that's the good thing here, actually, for House Tarth. Even with a minute left on the clock, right? I mean, they have options to work with. They can split the attention of no, and still make this one work. They need to make something go in their favor, though, as Linny and Joe are going to pick up a couple of kills. It's going to push House Tarth away for now. Weeman able to get on top of the statue. Kill 2 before falling, but this could be the push here. Afro looking to capture zone A. I don't think anybody from no off the respawn is going to be able to stop this one, and that's why you can see them scuttling over towards B. Gizmo, though, already there. You need to get inside this control zone straight away. Defrag coming in from money, able to pick up 1. No. Still in control here of this point, but it's pressure coming in from House Tarth. Afro now coming in through. I believe Defrag is with him as well, and House Tarth here looking to put the pressure on.
No. They need to play extremely tight and play for trades. And there is a stick. That's not what you wanted to see. That will be the defense broken. Afro grabs 3 to secure the point. Looking for that final tick and looking for the game. Joe, can he do anything? No, he cannot. House Tarth here to play, Brody, as they come out in control. Hot 3-0 to be able to take the lead in the series once again.
Just such good pressure overall from House Tarth. I'm a little speechless there off the back of that performance, because that was, I think, the most dominant map in the series so far, even though, of course, no, able to around there. That was still really good stuff. Actually, it was 3-0, sorry, for this House Tarth side. Dominant map, just so well played. And I tell you what it was the SMGs. Of course, your AR was able to do a lot, but Weeman was able to take a backseat there in that game. And just all of the SMG presence. I mean, this is probably the most talked about feature of this House Tarth roster is the duo of Defrag and Afro. Gizmo, of course, being the flex for this lineup, switches over to the AK-74U for this matchup and still demolishes. Really well played overall for House Tarth. They're able to come up top on that one. And again, SMG presence, that's the bottom line there for that lineup.
And Respawn's becoming a bit of an issue now for No. They have not really been able to match the AR pressure, and they certainly have not been able to match the submachine gun pressure here. We see that take place on that map, as well as the map number 1, where it was pretty convincing for the most part on that Crossroads hardpoint here. So there was a lot of work that has to be done going in towards Garrison hardpoint. Now, the good news is here for the side of No, that they did actually take this map in that last series in the very first set of the entire best of 5. So that is something at least that you have going for yourself, but it had to come in clutch up fashion. They had to hold the P1 hill for the entirety. They could not allow one break to come through, and they were able to hold it, but they were not in a great position for that entire hard point, which has kind of been the story so far in our respawns, where we see a bit of a blowout in the map 1 and then a hot 3-0 in control. So there needs to be a much better start, I think, for me, Brody, going in towards the second hard point on Garrison if they're going to be able to send things to the search and destroy. Because if they can send things to the search and destroy, then I think they've been reliable enough that they could certainly make a strong argument that they have the chance to be able to close this one out. But it's the problem of actually getting there. Can they overcome another hard point here against this squad that is just looking to be completely on fire?
I think they can. I don't want to really rule no out of this one. Of course, I mean, you sort of send your mindset back to the winners bracket final, even though we didn't get to see that this morning. It did go all the way to a game number 5, right? So these two teams, they're more than capable of trading blows, and I think that might be what we get here. I don't not see this series going towards a game 5A. I could even see this going to a second best of 5. It would be really interesting to see that, of course, because we actually had, I think, last Challengers Cup was the first time we haven't had 2 best of 5s for a grand final where Obtain Esports were able to come out and just 3-0 emptied without problem. So I would like to see a second best of 5 here in this one. That would be for sure interesting. But as we go into Garrison Hardpoint, I think that this sort of the bottom line here for both of these teams is your SMG presence, really making sure that you get control of the map with your submachine guns. And again, what we've been talking about this series so far, and it definitely applied for Crossroads Strike, that's for sure. And it's most certainly applied to the raid control that we just saw. Their sub presence has been immaculate, and I don't see that changing here going into game number 4.
That's, I think, the problem that I'm kind of looking down going in towards it is just we haven't seen enough from Nolson, I think, who just had like a crazy MVP performance coming out of the lower bracket and has not really been able to carry that so far going in towards this one. It has to come through, at least for me, if we're seeing a game 5. And that's what I'd be telling my teammates right now. I'd be like, listen, we have not really been playing too well within some of these respawns so far in this series. But guys, if we can clutch up right here, we send things towards this game 5, we're absolutely going to clutch up, and we're going to send things towards the bracket reset and get into the second best of 5. That's kind of what has to be phrased and framed up going in towards this for all of these guys gearing for this Garrison hardpoint. That's the biggest thing, I think, for me, because we have already seen it, and like you had already alluded to, in the very first best of 5 these guys played in the upper bracket, they were able to get themselves to a spot where they did close out one of the respawns and force things to the game 5. They have to do that here again. There has to be that ice, have to clutch up here, Brody. There's no other way to say it. And if they could at least have that hot start, I want to see a really good start here from the subs going in towards P1. That's what's going to be needed, I think, if they're going to be able to carry this through, because they cannot fall behind against a squad that is just so disciplined and so good at playing for rotations. But ladies and gentlemen, that's enough of us starting to build this game up. We got to see it unfold for us as we jump in towards it. This could be the very last map here of the day for the EU Challengers Cup number 4. Will No bounce back here, or will House Tarth claim yet another victory?
And this is the thing, No. I mean, they've had such a stellar performance pretty much all day long, really. And of course, lost to House Tarth in that winners bracket final. They're looking for revenge here, but backs against the wall. They lose this map. They lose the Challengers Cup, and House Tarth become our second team here, or first team, sorry, in this 2 Challengers Cups. It would be quite something to see. Gizmo explode right off the back. Control here for Walkway, and Gizmo just inside elbow, having one hell of a time.
Gizmo shows me the hot start, but it was not on the side I was expecting it from. However, we'll still see a push come through. Felon on the side of caution will go down. Will be a quick trade, though, from Joe. The numbers will favor the side of House Tarth. Joe, the last one left alive, is looking to try and get the last little bit of scrap time here. 8 seconds up for grabs. Rotation is going to be in favor of House Tarth. And now, no, working themselves through bricks. DeFrag holding that angle. Will be able to work for the first gunfight. Linny, though, big shots coming in towards the back. Will be able to take down Weeman as they slowly start to set up this push in the back.
House Tarth in control at the moment of this P2 hard point. You can see no trying to come in from behind. It's what you want to do, unearth the spawns, but Afro in control, able to pick up 1 kill. Linny comes in, surging through, picks up 2 huge kills. Gizmo, though, still there, able to have the final save for now. It's House Tarth keeping no away from this hard point. And I think rather crucially as well, with 25 seconds or so left on this hill, they have control of the spawns for that next hard point. So even if they lose control here, they've got majority of time and they can fall back on the spawns for new.
Great break. I mean, no needed to. If they didn't, they would have been maybe down just over a hard point going in towards what could have been P3. But this is going to keep things very close, as well as give them the lead, as they're going to now also start off their rotation going through green. Gizmo trying to play a bit of defense, will work himself in towards the back of Stacks, and a chance now to maybe find 2 won't happen. Lenny with a big shutdown here, as the frag from range is going to be too good, but will be a trade once again for Joe. The trade's coming through, but still not enough to actually influence the spawns in towards the back. And Afro, big gunfight up close, will be able to find himself his teammates in and around the hill. Will be good to fend off the first push.
Big gunfights overall here from Afro and Gizmo. They win their one-on-one engagements both at the front of the hard point and around the back as well to maintain those spawns. It's still going to be House Tarth spawning in from behind as Weeman able to pick up Joe there. No here. Trying to find their way on, but this has been a great hold. Weeman surely not with a DMR. He just annihilates Linny and Nolson as House Tarth hold on to this time. 20 seconds left here. There's really not much point if you're a no of continuing to push this one. You need to make sure that you rotate over towards that next hard point. You a bit of a road spawn here. Actually coming in from Joe, in from behind for this scrap time, is very quickly dealt with by Gizmo. And I think more to the point as well, House Tarth, they don't have control of green at the moment, but they've already made their way over towards rotation, and this is a dangerous position to be in if you're a no. You've just lost a 460 off the back to P3. The kill feed is in favor of House Tarth, and they have control of the rotation for that next hill.
They go 4 down. Just a beautiful rotation coming off the old hill, transitioning into the new one. And now they are in control again. No. They need to find a break, and they need to start getting themselves some time, or this game is going to get too out of control. Felon does find the first one and gets green control, but quickly falls right after grabbing the kill. Afro now having this completely on lock as a couple of players starting to make their way up towards top green. They know Afro's in here. Afro wins the second gunfight. Will he win the third? Surely not. Felon grabs 2 players, but still on the time. House Tarth are just simply collecting this, and no. They have barely even been on the hill coming off P3 as well as P4.
And this is a scary scoreline. This is a very scary scoreline here as no. I mean, back-to-back hard points now. They've lost essentially 120 points off the back of these 2 hills. It's not a good situation to be in whatsoever. And you look at the rotation, Austin. House Tarth for the team there again. How is this happening, Austin? House Tarth, they're doing so well on controlling the map, cutting it in all the right places. No. Getting sliced up in the process. And now they're 110 points down here against this House Tarth side. Remember, folks, 2-1 up in the series are House Tarth. The stakes are high here. In this one, no. Need to get right back into this game now, and that's certainly going to help. Joe picks up 3. Nolson follows up with number 4. A multi-kill for Joe is going to mean that no are going to get control of this hard point, but they need to start this comeback right now.
Something surely had to happen, and Joe will make it happen here, as it looks like he'll drop down for 4 in a row as well, and now making his way over towards the bridge, likely to start to set up. Joe actually starting to really heat up, finds himself on 5, and well, he is really the sole reason they're able to get any time off of this hill, as he solo breaks it all by himself and gives his teammates a bit of room to be able to at least push up. They also now have the rotation, so they're not out of it by any means, but we need to start seeing full holds come through and at least 40 seconds come through, if not full holds. But House Tarth, they're setting up for their push here, as they're going to be starting to collapse in from behind as well from green.
House Tarth still maintaining a rather large lead at the moment. No, though. They're in control of the hard point for now, and this is a great position to be in as well. They've got control of the bridge, and that's going to be one of the key things here to note. With 30 seconds left on this hill, there is an opportunity for No to make that rotation over towards next, but they need to make sure that House Tarth don't even really contest this. They need every single second they can get, and most importantly, they need to make sure they maintain that map control as Defrag comes through, gets control of green, gets the second kill as well. That's so key there, that two-piece from Defrag. It's going to push No all the way back into spawn to the bottom right of your mini-map, and this is the danger zone for No. You do not want to let this happen whatsoever. They're spawning all the way out, and the rotation is in favor of House Tarth.
When it comes down to these important hills, look who is always here first. You take a look at that mini map, and there was blue arrows swarming in and around the hill, and no one is really close for the side of No, which means you now have to find a break just about immediately, and this is gonna have to be crucial for them to win out on these gunfights. It's so difficult to break through the front, but they will be able to try and fend Gizmo off a bit, but Defrag from the back off screen manages to find himself 2 kills, so no longer a pinch is going to be coming through, and with this push now coming in from the side, it looks like it will be Nolson who finds himself 2 kills. Gizmo still on the point, will lose the one-on-one up close. Afro gets the beat down here, but there will be a break. No. One-on-one gunfight goes the way of Linny. They will keep themselves in the game, but once again, we look towards the map here for ourselves, Infinity, and we need to see red arrows set up on the new hill, and there is simply no one there.
House Tarth, they've got a lead at the moment. It's about 60 points over this No side, and that lead, I mean, it has been reduced by quite a margin, actually, Austin, to be fair. At one point in this game, House Tarth, they had a 110-point lead over this No side. Now it's been reduced down to about 70, but still, House Tarth, they've got control of this next hard point. This break, it's going to be key, and to be honest with you, I don't think they can really wait for it as well. No, they need to find their way into the hard point right now, and there it is, Joe, able to pick up 2 huge gunfights, but it's still House Tarth spawning in from behind. You can see them on your mini-map, spawning all the way out the back of the hard point. Joe, able to pick up that first gunfight here. No, looking to start picking up time here off the back of this hard point. This is key, but look at the spawn out here from, it's going to be, I believe, Afro spawning out on the other side of the map. House Tarth spawning out there as well. This is beautiful stuff from No. They're great here. They're looking for this last 20 seconds of time, but House Tarth, they have those spawns over towards P5. It's the spawns you want for this rotation.
This is looking a lot like deja vu for as far as this No squad. They had the slow start last time around in the map 1. This time around, they have the slow start, and they're bringing things back as well, as they're able to cut that down to just about 50 points, separating both of these squads. Now, this is where House Tarth was able to hold a full 60, and it was very difficult for No to actually find any opportunities to come out in favorable trades. This can't happen. They need to now move in and actually take them off of the time at the very least, but the setup is in. House Tarth are going to be able to win out on the first couple of gunfights for themselves. Wee-Man with a one-on-one engagement against Joe. He will be able to come out on top, and control is still in favor of House Tarth as they're lining up for what could be a map 4 win as well as the series dub.
This could be it. It's going to be House Tarth. They're inside the point. No. They're looking to find their way in. Joe, he's going to fall. Linny in with the trade. Nolson coming out on top. Defrag down for the count now. Gizmo, though, going to pick up 2. The trade's coming in back and forth. We go. Afro now trying to find his way in. He is denied. No. They're just trying to find their way in, but you look at the spawns for an next, Austin, and here's the big problem for No. Yeah, sure, they can make sure House Tarth don't finish on this hill, but they have control of the next, but it doesn't matter anyway. Afro and Defrag able to pick up a couple of kills. It's going to be Afro picking up yet another one. We are going to see that next hard point, but look at number 8 on your minimap. It's Weeman already there for the rotation. Nobody from No in for the reply, and it's going to be 250 to 151. House Tarth are your Challengers Cup 4 champions here in Europe, the last one that we know of, and they're going to finish strong as they become the first team to win 2 Challengers Cups this season.
The first team to do it, Brody, just in incredible fashion. When it comes down to these respawns, they are untouched, and you could just see how that teamwork unfolds on the map when they're trusting in each other. They're playing off of each other. The subs and AR pressure is just too much to deal with at times, and too much for No, at least throughout all of the respawns in this best of 5. Certainly got to give these guys, though, big props for being able to bounce back, especially after a lot of these Challenger Cups maybe not swinging their way, but coming through at least in towards the last one we know of. Brody really starting to bring in, as they get themselves quite a bit of points as well, which is the big factor when we're talking about seeding heading in towards whatever Challengers Elite will be for us. So just great job overall from them with the bounce back. But I mean, really, House Tarth, I think that they were able to fix a lot of those mistakes that they were making in towards Cup 2, Cup 3. They come alive in towards Cup 4, and they just look dominant, running through that upper bracket the whole way, coming down to a nail-biter winner final in Game 5 fashion, clutching up in the respawns as well, enough to take away the second cup, as you said. Just great stuff all around for both of these squads here, really bringing it in the best of 5.
Really well played overall from House Tarth, and I think for them this season, that's a big win. You know, we've seen roster changes come and go for a variety of teams here in European challenges and North America challenges, of course. I mean, roster changes over there, they happen every day. But here in Europe, we've seen a number of roster changes happen for a variety of teams, and sometimes they don't work out. And we've seen that, right? With rosters last weekend from the Christmas break, rosters, they came back from the break, they had new teams, and some of those teams just blatantly didn't work. And for a roster like House Tarth, for them to, I think, come off the back of what was, I think, a consecutive third place finish followed by a top 6 finish, they wanted to change something, and change it they did. They brought in Weeman, this player that is the dedicated AR. As I said, you know, they didn't really have one prior to this weekend. Now they finally do. And I think that gives the sub so much more room to breathe. And, you know, when I had Madcat on last week, we were kind of talking about sort of the secret sauce of this roster, and it is the sub pressure. You know, you've got that duo of Afro and Defrag there as well, playing so well as a duo. And Gizmo, when he whips out an AK-74U, it is something else, man. I mean, Gizmo, he's a rising star, and he's proven it on this House Tarth roster. So they are going to be your Challengers Cup 4 champions. They become the first team to win 2 Challengers Cups this season. And I think overall here, this has big implications, of course. We've been talking about sort of Challengers Elite and where these Challengers Cups are going to go over the last few weeks. The fight for the top 8 seeding, it's been crucial. And I think for this week, House Tarth, this was a very important week to really solidify their seeding as one of those teams that realistically, short of some really crazy mess up in either the qualifiers or whatever it is that's necessary to get into that Challengers Elite, they are probably going to be one of our top 8 teams here for European Challengers Elite this season.
I would think so. I mean, the squad is just so stacked, right? Like just the young talent that you have here, the rising stars, and you know, a lot of rumors behind the scene on maybe where Afro could be going and things like this. So I think that it's a really exciting roster with just so much passion and just showing us what they're able to bring when they really are working together and coming alive. And really, I think just trusting in one another was the biggest thing that we saw here in a lot of these map sets throughout this entire day. So just big props to these guys coming through. And yeah, I mean, when we're talking about, you know, what to expect for as far as the future and what we're going to get here for Challengers Elite, we know it's going to be exciting within this region, Infinity. I mean, really one of the most competitive regions, I think, for sure, with all of the different teams that we've had come through. We are just in for a treat this entire year. And I mean, more than anything, I'm sure the players as well as us hoping we get some news on when the next one is, so we can find out when all these teams will be clashing once again.
Yeah, absolutely. The season, could we call this the preseason? I really don't know. I mean, it's been a while for Challengers Cups that we've got to cover here on the European stream. I think, you know, if anything, just the amount of variation in placements for a variety of teams, it does really show that this is one hell of a competitive region. And honestly, I don't think nor you, nor I, Andy, Ton, Shift, none of us could properly get a hold of what 8 teams are going to be the ones going into Challengers Elite this season. And as an aside, right, this no roster, they come in as the 9th seed this week. They put themselves much further up now after this second place finish. So they're going to be feeling pretty good about that one. For the Challengers Cup coverage, though, generally speaking, that is us done here on the European side. I just want to take the moment really to thank everybody for tuning in over the last, I want to say like 7 or 8 weeks it was. Considering we had like the 2 to 3 week break in between Challengers Cup 2 and 3 for Christmas and New Year's and holidays. So I just want to, take a moment to say thank you to everybody for tuning in and supporting this stream. I am very happy that we were able to pull this together. Massive shout out to Alan, actually, at I Hold Shift, for basically putting everything together. Essentially, he did the graphics package and really brought this whole thing together with all of the casters. So shout out to him. But most of all, shout out to everyone who tuned in over the last few weeks. It was insane. I really enjoyed getting to cast this overall. I'm really appreciative of this community because they really do support challenges.
I mean, it's really, really exciting to see. I think how many people are coming up to watch challenge, especially when we were doing this last year compared to this year. There is just so much excitement. There's so much talent here, and I think people are finally starting to realize that the right eyes now are starting to be on some of these rising stars and up and coming players, and it really does build some of those storylines that then do enter in towards the CDL here. So yeah, it's a great time, and a big thank you, like Infinity just said, to all you guys that have been tuning in, that have been supporting, have been watching. It's been really, really a true pleasure, I think, to be able to cast these and actually get to watch this talent happen live right on our screen for us. Infinity, it is truly special.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just want to take a moment as well to shout out the rest of the casting team here. So specifically, you've got your Visions, right? You've got Alan, I Hold Shift over in America. You've got Proper over in America as well. They both covered APAC. I believe you might have covered APAC at one point as well.
I did not.
You didn't? Okay. Proper and I Hold Shift, they were putting shifts in at midnight until God knows what time.
Twilight hours.
Yeah, it's crazy. So they really have put some dedication into this one. Of course, Ton as well. We also had fill-in casters. We had Mad Cat coming in last week. Today we had Shift and Colin Crow. So thank you to everybody who came in and casted. And of course, a massive shout out to our broadcast team. We have Brother Jammer coming in today. And of course, last weekend, we had Trixel coming in to fill in last weekend as well. And for the first two cups, we had Connie Slang in as well. So shout out to the production team, because without them, none of this would be possible. Let me tell you, I got some trash internet and we would not be able to do this. So massive shout out to them. Thank you guys for doing that. Until then, though, that's it for this stream. Thank you to everyone for tuning in. It's been just an incredible experience casting these 4 Challengers Cups. And hey, who knows what's going to happen this season with Challengers. It's going to be an awesome season. I cannot wait. For now, though, guys, if you want to check out the North American coverage that's going on currently, it's twitch.tv/iHoldShift. I'll initiate a raid as well. Once we go to the sort of thanks for watching screen, you can catch all the North American action for Challengers there. But for now, though, thank you from the European coverage team, and we'll see you guys when we'll see you.